friends, I'm Jody. Welcome back to This Beaded Life. I am so excited because Sam's Bead Shop sent me some beads to play with and make some beautiful designs because I'm going to be on their live sale on December 9th, and I'm so excited. So what you see today, these items are going to be featured in the live sale on the 9th. So I'm going to make sure that you have the link to Sam's Bead Shop in the description. Also, I highly recommend downloading the app. It's available on Google, it's available on iOS, and it just makes it so much easier. I shop with the app. It's super easy on your phone. So I'm going to show you what we have. We're going to make some beautiful things together, and then we will be shopping in just like 4 short days. It won't take long at all. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, are you ready for this? This is going to be so fun. All right, so I'm going to show you the things that they sent, and I'm just so super excited because they found some really great things for me to play with, and I'm so happy about it. So the first thing we have is some gorgeous apatite faceted heishi beads. Oh, that was a little blurry, sorry guys. So this is better. And you can see they're like chunky heishi beads, and I love that. So I have some of those to play with. That gorgeous blue is just always amazing, and it makes me so happy to see it. Let me get my little palette out here so we can put things on our palette. How fun. That's a really fun color. Next, they sent me a full strand of these bronzite lantern beads. I actually have some of these in my stash because I bought them at a live sale, and I love the shape of these beads. These are so beautiful, and bronzite is just gorgeous. And you know, you can team it up with so many things: pink, blue, green, orange, yellow. I mean, it's endless, right? Because it's a neutral, and it is just stunning. It's probably one of my favorite neutral gemstones. Let's put her right here. There we go. Next we have some, where are we at? Hematite hex faceted rounds, which would be this beauty. I love some hematite, and these are so nice. And you know what, you guys, their holes aren't like so teeny tiny that it's impossible to put your strand through. I always have such a hard time. This was a full strand, but I took some off because I was making something. So I will show you that in a little bit, but we're going to go through this. So there's our hematite. Next we have some pink opal freeform heishi beads, and look at these lovely ladies here. Aren't they gorgeous? I love the freeform heishis. These are some of my favorite because you're getting thicker and thinner, and it just makes such an interesting like piece, like a necklace or a bracelet. They just sit together so neatly and just really cool. And it gives your piece so much dimension. It's just a lot of fun. So there's those. Next we have some picture jasper chevrons. Show you those. There we go. Aren't these cool? They're drilled through here, so they will fit together really cool, like so. Isn't it cool? You can just string them all together. You can just do, you know, you can actually even do them like a bead frame. So if you kind of went like this and had like a bead small enough to go in the middle, that would be really cool too. So these are really neat. I feel like these were picked out just for me because they're odd and I like them. All right, next we have some check drops. These are really pretty. And they have like they look like they have a little bit of brown, green, blue, just really pretty little small like briolette drops. Really cute. And I like the coloring on this. It's almost Picasso-esque. Very pretty. And then the last thing, we have some spacers. We have some light blue saucers. These are always fantastic. They go great with everything. Look at these. There's so many. They're beautiful. Beautiful check glass spacers. All right, guys, so we're going to make some stuff. And I am going to clear this away. I'm going to bring one thing out, and then we are going to also design a stunning necklace today. So I will show you that in just a sec. Okay, my friends, so this is the earring we are going to make, and I thought this turned out really, really fun using the picture jasper as like a topper to our earring. I just thought it was really, really cute and very fun to wear. So we're going to do that. And what I have here is some bead stringing wire. I have about 10 inches, and this is the Soft Flex medium in champagne. And we are using one of the picture jasper V's. We're using 5 of the check glass drops, and we're using about 23 to 25, I can't remember exactly, of the I think it's, let's see, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23, yeah, 23 of them. So, and then I have an ear wire, a lever back ear clasp, and I have a Soft Flex crimp tube number 2. And I also have just a little crimp bead, which we are going to use up here to keep the 2 wires together nicely. And we are also using one of the bronzite beads. Okay, so what we did is, or what I did, I'm saying we, like there's 2 of me, but there is not. So we are putting on the first check glass drop, and we are putting 2 of the hematite beside it, another check drop, 2 more hematite. So basically we put in 2 in between each drop. And here we go. 1 and 2, and then our drop again, and we have 1 more drop, and then we're putting 7 of the hematite on each side of our ending drops here. Let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well, 7. And then we're just going to carefully put 7 on the other side. I'm having a hard time grabbing that last one. There it goes. Okay, so we got that, and now we need to put our bronzite bead over top of both strands. And then what I did was, because I really want to get this down to 1 strand, so I can put 1 more little hematite up here, just so it kind of hides that little space in between. So that's when I took our regular crimp bead, and it doesn't have to be any one in particular, just any random crimp bead that you have. It's really just making this stay tight together, and then we're going to be able to trim off one of our strands, which will be easier to put that hematite in. So I'm using my regular crimping pliers, and because it's such a small crimp bead, I am going into the middle one, but I'm making sure that I have everything up against my bronzite nice and snug. We don't want a lot of like space in between. So I went to my second one and then my first notch to finish that off. And now we have our nice little crimp there, which isn't going to go anywhere. We can trim off one of these strands. And there we go. And now we'll be able to fit one more of our little hematite faceted rounds on top here. There we go. And then we can put our Jasper triangle on top, and see, it just kind of fits in there really nice. Okay, this bronzite has like a little off-centered hole, but that's okay. We already crimped it, so it's okay. He's very unique. And then we are taking our crimp tube, putting that on our strand. And this is where we're going to use a better crimp because we want to turn it into a little ball. So I'm using the Soft Flex crimp, and we're going to use our magical crimpers here. And then we'll put our ear wire on right away, or our lever back. And then we can go through our crimp down the side of that A. And the reason I'm doing it this way is I'm trying really hard not to get my wires crossed. And then we'll just pull this down gently until we get to the hoop size we want for our ear wire. And as you can see, I made it kind of small here. So we want to just go a little bit smaller. And then we just want to pull that crimp just a little bit away from our top of our bead so we can properly close it. So now we're going to use our magical crimpers. We're going to go right in, make sure that is nice and centered in that little space for the crimp. So that way our crimp turns out really nice. And then we're just going to crimp it and then just follow it all the way around until there's no more resistance from our crimp tube. And then we can snip this off. There we go. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So here's our adorable little pair of earrings. I absolutely love this. I love it with our little check glass drops. I just think it adds a little bit of flair to it. It just makes it a lot of fun for me. And these will be tried on at the end of the video so you can see how they look as well. But now we're going to get some stuff together because we're going to make a necklace, and I'll be right back once I get all the rest of the supplies. Okay, again, we are using Soft Flex Medium in this champagne color. For this, I got out 2 of my gold crimp tubes from Soft Flex, and we are going to do a design like this, probably bring these closer together and make somewhat of a shorter necklace. And we will be using some of the hematite spacers, of course. And I haven't decided what clasp I'm going to use yet. I don't know if I want to use like a toggle or what, but we will get to that when we get to that. So we are going to pull some beads from what we've been sent. So I definitely want to use a little bit of everything. So I'm just going to make some little piles here of everything that I want to use. So here we go. We got some of these, the pink opal. We're going to use a few of the apatite. Probably, I think 4 will be good. I'll save the other 4 for a bracelet to match this. The only thing our bracelet will not have will be these guys, but that's okay. We don't need to do them on everything. And our bronzite. We're going to need probably more bronzite than anything. And this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right. And I'm kind of thinking I would like to use the drops as well. And I'm thinking I would like to do them like in between here. I think that would be really, really cute. So we're probably going to do that too. So we're just going to pull those off here. And I don't think I want this to be a super long necklace, but it would be nice if it was just a you know, like right below choker collar style. So that's what we're going to probably do. All right. So we're going to measure this on myself, and then I am going to measure it with my tape measure to let you know how much I am actually using to make this necklace. And I will, if I end up using a lobster clasp, which I probably will, I will put a chain on the back for extender. So if somebody wants to wear it longer, they absolutely can. All right, so let me get my tape measure here and we'll do some measuring. And let's see, we have, whoop, gotta hang on to it. About 25.5 inches worth of bead stringing wire. All right, sorry about my creaky chair. We're gonna start with the one end here. So we're just gonna put this guy on. And we already know that 4 of these hematite fit nice and comfortably in between the 2 V's. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, down there, and 4. We'll put our next one on. Actually, between these 2, we could probably fit a 5th one. Let's see. Let's do 1 more, just so we don't have that wire showing. Make it nice and clean and nice and neat. Okay, let's put that on there. And then we can use a another hematite spacer. We'll use one of our drops. And then another hematite spacer. And then let's go on to the next little V or A or triangle or arrow, whatever you want to call it. Put him on. And let's do 5 more of the hematite. Now watch, because I did 5 here, that it's only going to fit 4. With gemstones, they are all cut, you know, and it's, you know, by hand mostly. And you're not going to get the exact same size every time. So it's going to be one of the characteristics of gemstones that I really like the most, is that you just don't know if it's going to be exactly the same. It could have some different little things going on with it, and I think I like that the most. It reminds me of people. We're all alike, but we're not the same. We're all special in our own ways. There we go. Got that one on. Oh yeah, that looks cute with the little drops in between. I like that. And it just kind of pulls in the earrings. I mean, we started with the earrings. Usually the earrings are like, you know, a second option, or, you know, you make your necklace or your bracelet first and then your earrings come after. But with this one, I wanted to really do the earrings first, because I felt like that one was going to kind of lay the showcase for what I want to do with the rest of the jewelry. I'm debating on putting 1 more little drop on the outside too, because I do like these drops a lot, and I think they look really cool. All right, so there's our 5. And let's just put that through there. There we go. That looks really cool. I want like a bunch of these. I want very, very many of those. And then we'll do another hematite. We'll do another one of our check drops. These check drops look so rustic. They're so cool looking. And I'm all about like the rustic look of some beads. I think it's amazing. All right, and one more drop. And there we go. And the whole while I'm doing this, I'm trying to think of like a pattern of what I want to do with the rest of the beads. So I think for right now, we might be done mostly with these. So we'll just scoot them off to the side, scoot them off to the side, and then we can start thinking about how we want to do this. And I think maybe the best transition in my mind is using one of these clear blue spacers and then going into grabbing our bronzite. And I like to do probably 2 of the bronzite right next to each other. And then we can do another one of these spacers. And then I think it would be cute if we did some of the pink. And I'm just picking different shades of this pink opal. I don't need them all to be the same color. I'm just grabbing some different shades just so it looks, you know, kind of unique. And then we can put on another one of these spacers. Let's do one of our apatite. Oh yeah, that looks good. Then our spacer. We'll do 3 more of these. And then our spacer, and then 2 bronzite. Okay, so that's what our pattern's going to look like. And we're going to repeat that probably twice on each side, and then we will finish off the top of the strands with just another like probably little pattern of some of the smaller beads. So let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. I have plenty more of these on my plate of all these beads. So we'll be able to do a nice bracelet too to go with it. And then these. And then 2 more bronzite. And then, so this is what it looks like so far. I wonder if I need to space these out further apart, because I think, well, maybe not. No, because if it's a shorter necklace, it's probably going to hang like this. So, and if they do kind of turn, I don't know, it's still kind of cool looking, in my opinion. So let's do this, and then we will continue on. And I'm thinking, I wonder what it would look like if I put another one of these drops on here. If I did like a drop. Like that. Oh, actually, I like that. That looks really good. Okay, we're going to do that. And then we can continue on with our bronzite pattern. All right, I'm going to string up the rest of this pattern one more time on the side one more time on the side, and then we'll be back with the rest of our necklace. Okay, friends, so this is what we have. We have our pattern repeating. I think this is going to be a lot of fun to wear. And we don't have very much space to go up here at the top, so we're just going to finish this off with probably a few of the bronzite, maybe 2 of the bronzite and the little blue spacers here. So let's go ahead and put this one on, and let's grab a bronzite. And I think we'll do one more. So we have a lot of them. All right. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's go ahead and make our loops here. I'm going to grab my findings real quick and we'll be right back. I'm going to grab some for the bracelet too so we can have matching on both sides. Okay, so we have our findings. I'm going to make sure that my, where'd my pliers go? Oh, there they are. Okay, I'm going to make sure that my jump rings are closed because these little jump rings are going to connect onto our clasp. I only need one right now. I need one of those right now too. Okay. Just want to open it up. We'll put our clasp on there and close it right back up. Make sure it's closed all the way. Definitely don't want any issues with it popping off. And then I'm using a split ring for the other side. I don't know, makes me, I like it because it's a little bit thicker. So let's put on our one crimp and we're going to just hold it right where it's at. Put on our clasp, stringing through that little jump ring there. And after I try it on, if I think that it needs to have a, if it needs to have an extender, I will put an extender on it, but I don't know if it's going to need one or not. And if you're new, an extender is really just a chain that is on the back of a necklace that you can hook your lobster clasp in, and you can make it longer if you choose to. All right, and we can fit our strand through those beads very nicely. And I'm just going to pick it up and let some gravity do some work here. Now we want this to be kind of tightly put together, but not so tight that it's really stiff. So I just kind of did like a little spiral here. Not a really small spiral either, because I've learned my lesson with that. Then you end up with too much of a gap with, with your wire. So just a nice loose one like this. And then we can drop our crimp on here and our ring. We'll go through our crimp tube again. We'll go through a couple of these beads here. And just try not to cross our wires so that we can get a nice, clean, reliable crimp. Pull that down. And I just like to match up my loops to see if they're about the same size, and they look good. They're about the same size, but it appears that my wires may have, there we go. Now my wires no longer crossed. See, my wires are crossed within my crimp. Just pull that just a tiny bit more. And there we go. So here it is, and now I just need to kind of wiggle that crimp away from my bead, just so I can get my crimp pliers in there. And we're using the magical crimpers again. Okay, we got our nice little ravioli. And then we can just finish closing this crimp. I feel like my little thing is getting in the way there. All right, I think we got it. Let me just see. It wants to keep rolling on me. There we go. Now we really have it. There we go. Okay, now we got it. So now we can come in and snip off our tail. Let's connect these together. And now we have our super cute necklace. And I think once we put it on, because this will go around the neck, this will sit really nice then. So there's our necklace. And then I'm going to set that aside and we're going to start on our bracelet right away. So I know already we want to use pretty much the same beads that we have. I already have a clasp and my jump rings, my split ring. Let's finish pulling these off here. And then we'll take a look and see what we have left after all of that. We know we definitely want our apatite. They are beautiful. We're going to want more of these. And I think what we're going to end up doing is trying to repeat kind of the pattern we have on our necklace right onto the bracelet. Minus the triangles there. All right, and I do have some wire that I have as scrap. It's the same wire, it's the champagne, and I pull these out whenever I get ready to make a bracelet because I like to use these up. So I think this might be long enough. Let's measure it real quick. We have, okay, 9.5 inches. That really should be big enough. I'd like this to be like a 7 to 7.5 inch bracelet. So let's go ahead and start doing this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just kind of start somewhere in the middle, but we're going to end up building off both ends probably. So let's do 2 of our bronzite. We can do one of our little blue spacers, 3 of our little pink opals, a blue spacer, an apatite, blue spacer, three more of these little guys. Let's do this one. And let's just pick kind of a smaller one than that one. There we go. We need 2 more bronzite. Okay, so this is where we're gonna see like what we're gonna do on the ends here. And I think what we're gonna end up doing is I'd like to use some more of those little drops again. So let's put our blue spacer, a hematite, a drop, and another hematite. There we go. Let's do the same thing to this side. There we go. Then we can do probably our, oh, come on back here. Maybe we'll cut the bronzite down to just one, just so we can kind of repeat the pattern somewhat again. And then we can do some more apatite because it's such a pretty stone, and I hate to like not use a ton of it because you know, they sent me all these goodies to play with for the live sale, and I'm so excited about it. This is something for me that dreams are made of, let me just tell you. Let's see, let's do, maybe we just need to do one, just to kind of make it like a mini version of the same pattern. Did I do, oh yeah, I did do a spacer in between. We want to do that because we like these to bend nicely. So let me put the spacer there. Our apatite, spacer, this guy. There we go. So that's what we have so far. Let's do the same thing over here before we run out of space, and then we can kind of go from there to see what else we need. If we need anything else, we may not. Okay, this is a really cool bracelet. I love this bracelet already. Okay, so that is 6.5. I think we could put one more bronzite on each end, and then that would probably be perfect for us to start our crimping. So let's do one more bronzite on each end. And let's measure it one more time. Maybe we don't want to do the bronzite. Maybe we just want to do a couple of little blue spacers. Or we could even end it with, because right now this is, it's going to add a lot more. It's going to be a way bigger bracelet than what we intended. Maybe if we just do a hematite, another drop. No, I don't want to do another drop. Let's just do, because I was thinking about how that would look. We can definitely do like a wire wrap drop and use it as a dangle. That'd be really cute. So we can do that, definitely. All right, let's take a peek here. Let's just double check our sizing. And I think we could probably put one more on each side. And now we're going to put our clasp on because I think this is going to be a good size. It might be too small for or too big for some, but I think it'll fit most people perfectly. So I'm going to put a little bead bug on one side. And then we can go ahead and start working on this other side. Let me get a couple crimps out. Again, I'm using the Softflex #2 crimp tubes. These are gold filled, really nice quality. Let's put our jump ring on. Put our crimp on there. Okay, we got our little loop made. Grab my magical crimpers. Just making sure that's placed in there properly. Okay, there's our little crimp there. Not sure if that'll fit through those spacers. I don't think it will. Okay, so let's trim that off. All right, and we can slide that down. And again, we want to just kind of form our bracelet on our mat to make sure that we're not having too much slack, but also not making it so super tight that your bracelet's going to be stiff and it's going to be hard to put on. So we have our little bracelet formed. And then let's put our crimp on there. This guy on there. And we can feed that through. And I think we will do like a cute little dangle for this. Kind of feel like it just needs a little dangle. Okay, there we go. Making sure my wires are not twisted inside my crimp. And there we go. There we go. And let's just buckle it up real quick just to see how it looks. And then we'll add our dangle and try everything on. And we have a lot of beads left, you guys. We have a ton of beads left. I mean, look, there's still a lot. Like I could do like probably another whole necklace out of it. All right, so but we made a really nice set. And I think that's where we're going to end it there. But let's go ahead and grab some gold wire. And I think I'm just going to use some 20 gauge craft wire. And we just really need kind of like a little chunk here. We don't need a whole lot. Just going to straighten this out. There we go. I'm going to cut off about 5 to 6 inches. I think 20 gauge will fit through here just nice. I kind of want like a chubbier wrap. Oh, I should have tried that. Nope, not quite, but that's okay. We'll save that. We'll grab the 24. Kind of wanted like a little bit thicker of a wrap around, but that's okay. We'll just do the same thing. We'll grab about 5 to 6 inches of our wire. And again, this is 24 gauge craft wire. And we're just going to make a nice little drop here. And let me just spin that around, get that started. There we go. And then we can trim this off. Make sure we don't have anything snagging. And then we can make our little loop. And I'm going to use a small jump ring to attach it. Or actually, I can just open up this jump ring probably and attach it right to that. And we're just going to make a nice, kind of like a looser, chunky wrap. And go back up to the top. Then we can trim this off. Let's try to tuck that in there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's going to be cute. That's a cute little one. I am going to use a separate jump ring because I think it'll hang nicer if I do. So let me just grab that. And then let's open that up and hang it. It just gives one more place for our little check drops to be. And we're just going to hang it right on this jump ring right here by the clasp. All right, guys, let's try the bracelet on. And then I'll flip this around so that we can try on the earrings and the necklace. Get this on here. All right. Oh, this is really nice. Okay, so here it is. This is like our center, and this turned out really, really cute. I like it. I think it's stunning. All right, awesome. I'm going to turn you guys around, and we're going to try on the other stuff.